Good morning. Welcome. Good morning. What's up, everybody? Nice warm coffee on a slightly chilly day here in Florida. What's going on? My name is Vega, Serpent Tech. This is a show that we do on a weekly basis. Going over some crypto news, maybe some hardware, some tech hardware in general. Not just crypto hardware, but tech hardware in general. And markets are down. Wonderful day. I think it's something to go on with YouTube, because I could stream to Twitch all day at 10 megabit per second, but as soon as you switch over to YouTube, that's when it starts to get a little bit choppy. Yeah, so anyways, crypto market is down, and we got some news articles to go over. We're going to go over, kind of what's going on with the markets in general, impacts, implications, tensions in the nation's geopolitics, the cryptocurrency bowl or the Super Bowl coming up this weekend, a diamond that sold for $4.3 million. I think that's just very interesting, the diamond itself, not exactly, plus, how it was paid for. BBC pulls down a documentary video. You will find out why. Everybody's been talking about this. The feds arrest a New York couple that supposedly received the 3.6 billion stolen. Now, well, not supposedly. They found them with the private keys to the wallet that owns the money. However, I have some thoughts about that. Motley Fool gives some people some insight on, what cryptocurrencies to buy, besides Ethereum. Obviously, the title says it all. Binance taking a $2 million stake in Forbes. So Binance trying to bring some more legitimacy to their business. And then some hardware news, right? So new PCIe connectors, Gen 5 PCIe coming out. We knew this was coming. Kingpin card, more about the PCIe. And then Best Buy making users or offering users an opportunity to get their GPUs or scalpers to get their GPUs with a $200 premium membership program called Total Tech. Complete ripoff, but we'll go over that. Anyways. Bitcoin at 42K, Ethereum at 28K. Much of our favorites are on the red except for the stable coins. We pulled back, it looks like, from earlier this week. We hit a high of 45, almost 46K, and then pulled right back. And actually at 46, 47K is a big hurdle, because we started off the year in 2022, almost getting up to 48K. 47.9 is where we hit. And then we pulled back from there ever since. So the all-time high for just 2022 is 47.9. So if we could hit 48K and flip that to support, then we should be on a good path. Unfortunately, it seems that there's a lot of concern and stuff like that. Now, what I did mention is last weekend or Friday, the previous weekend, Friday, we ended the traditional markets around 41, almost 40.8K, 40.7K, and then we jumped up over the weekend, and then we start off the next week, 42, 43. So there was a gap between 40K and 42 that we needed to fill. And lo and behold, it does look like we filled that gap, because we went all the way back down to around 41 something. I'm not sure if we completely filled it though. I am not entirely sure. Maybe on certain exchanges, I'm not entirely sure. But anyways, we got a psychological hurdle that we got to go over around the 40, almost 48K. Was that the bottom? Was this right here when we touched 32, almost into 31K? Was that the bottom? I'd be interested to hear your thoughts in the live chat or in the comments down below if you're watching this later on. But let's get into some news. If you have any questions, at me, super chat me. The comments I've been trying to keep up with, but there's been a lot of just randomness that I really can't, especially with how busy I've been lately. So Wall Street, week ahead, crypto investors face more uncertainty after rocky start to 2022. Actually, let's look at I don't really like looking at this fear and greed index, but let's go ahead and take a look at it from alternative.me. And we've been kind of sitting in this neutral section for some time now. Last month we were extreme fear. Last week we were at the upper edge of fear, and we've just been sitting neutral for what I think most of this week. Yeah, just been sitting neutral, just kind of like meh. I'm not exactly sure where we want to go. Very interesting to me how things will shape out. I always care more about the long term rather than the short term. The Ethereum average transfer fee is around $7, so it's a lot lower on the weekends compared to the weekdays, but still nowhere near where it could be as far as cryptocurrency being much more sought after than the fiat currency we hold to this day. Investors are bracing for more volatility in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and worries over the Federal Reserve regulations threaten to squelch risk appetite across different markets. While proponents of cryptocurrencies once touted their lack of correlation to other assets like S&P and NASDAQ, Bitcoin and its peers saw huge gains over the last 2 years, rallying along with stocks as the Fed and other central banks pumped unprecedented levels of stimulus into the global economy. Bitcoin is up 1,039% since March 2020, and Ether has risen 2,940%, though the rallies in both cryptocurrencies have been interrupted by numerous stomach-churning sell-offs. Their recent volatility has come amid a broader market sell-off driven by investors recalibrating their portfolios to account for more aggressive Fed, which is now expected to raise rates as many as 7 times this year as it fights surging inflation. The benchmark S&P 500 index is down 5.5% year to date, while the tech-savvy NASDAQ is lost 9.3% year to date. Now, this statement right here, their recent volatility has come amid broader market sell-off driven by investors recalibrating their portfolios to account for more aggressive Fed. This particular point right here is something that I've been saying for quite some time now. Basically, when you see that it looks like the cryptocurrency market is kind of correlated, right, if you will, correlated with the S&P, NASDAQ, stuff like that, that's because people are reallocating their investment or their portfolio, and they're taking profits or doing what they need to make up for any losses in the traditional market, stuff like that. So, a lot of people are saying cryptocurrency is no longer a hedge against the traditional markets, and you can kind of see that that's true. But that's because they're sticking to the main cryptocurrencies, and it's kind of like a game. If you remember torrenting back in the day, and when I'm talking about torrenting back in the day, Napster, right? Napster was taken down, but other websites popped up in its place, LimeWire, so on and so forth. This is really old school if you were on that time. And the game was a website would come up offering various favorite videos, music, artists, albums, whatever, and users would download those illegally. And then the Fed or the government agencies in those locations, right, because they had service throughout the world, will shut it down, and people would just jump to the next one, right? So it's a game of hot potato, right? We're just jumping from one to the other. And that's honestly what it feels like now with cryptocurrency, which is why spec mining to me is not only fun because I just like tinkering around with new algorithms as I did with ALF, but also because the traditional, I would still dollar cost average into Bitcoin, I still dollar cost average into Ethereum or mine it, or both. But to really realize financial wealth for me and my family, or generational wealth for me and my family moving forward, I obviously need to get into newer or less sought after cryptocurrencies, because honestly the top 10, maybe even the top 20 are mostly traded by those traditional investors, and the same people that are in both pools, the traditional stocks and crypto, obviously making the two correlate. So we got to play that game of hot potato and keep on moving. And that's just my theory. Just some dude on the internet. So escalating tensions in Ukraine, we'll talk more about that in a minute, could also spark broad market moves, which we've seen. Analysts at JP Morgan estimate Bitcoin's current fair value at 38K. So, 4,000 to 6,000 less than where we currently are, depending on where you're looking at. Some 15% below its recent price based on the volatility in comparison to that of gold. I'm going to check chat here in a minute, so hit me up if you have any questions. Correlation between the Bitcoin and S&P 500, as I mentioned before, reached an all-time high on January 31st, according to the data from B of A, Bank of America Global Research, undercutting the case for those hoping to use cryptocurrency as a hedge against market turbulence. Bitcoin could reach 100K as soon as 2023, a gentleman named Timmer said, based on the supply-demand models. Others believe mature cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ether are unlikely to deliver that kind of eye-watering gains they have notched since their founding. Instead, they're looking to the universe of new altcoins that are being created to take advantage of the money pouring into the crypto space, including the metaverse NFTs, which saw $30 billion worth of venture capital investment last year, according to PitchBook. Cryptocurrencies are going to remain very volatile going forward, but there are significant powers on both the institutional and retail side that are still growing, so the interest is still growing. So just a little tidbit there for you. All articles in this video will be linked in the description below. I try to do my best at putting it in there before, but sometimes I always mess up and I have to put it in there after. I'm adding it as we go. So moving on to rising tensions and between the world powers that be, I guess you could say. It kind of sucks because I love my Russian comrades, brothers and sisters over there. First off, I just want to say hello to everybody. So Doge Lord Coffee, good morning to you. Drinking me some Doge Lord Coffee, actually, as a matter of fact. That's why it's called Caffeine Crypto, duh. Magic Lucky B, Kelly, Garan, Rudd, Taylor, Joel's Mine, like your logo. B, Kelly, what's up? And Crypto Noob UK, see? UK, I need to go over there. Mike R, thank you for swinging by, guys. All right, so let's continue on with the news. Most cryptocurrencies decline on Friday as traders react to geopolitical risk emanating from Russia and Ukraine. On Friday, U.S. President Biden urged Americans to leave Ukraine immediately, warning an invasion could begin at any time. For now, the U.S. has ruled out sending troops into Ukraine despite Russia's military activities. I wouldn't say that this is the sole blame. The tensions between Russia, Ukraine, and the major world powers is the sole blame of the dip in cryptocurrency, but it certainly does not help. Bitcoin dropped 5% over the past 24 hours compared to 4% decline in Ethereum and a 7% dip in Solana. And you can see here that the S&P also closed 1.9%. Gold was up 1.55, so I'm sure the gold bugs are all happy about that. And during the 2018 crypto bear market, the BTC dominance ratio rose from a low of 35% to a high of 72%. And over the past year, the ratio declined by 30 percentage points as altcoins rallied ahead of Bitcoin. Some analysts expect Bitcoin to remain under pressure for a few more months. In last spring's drawdown, it took about 6 months for Bitcoin to recover, says NYDIG, a Bitcoin holding company that wrote in a newsletter. A similar timeline in the current drawdown would put a recovery date sometime in May. And I kind of agree with that. All right, so let's go check out CoinMarketCap. Right now, the Bitcoin dominance is at 42.5. Ethereum's at 18.3. And we can see that the other altcoins, let's see here. Other altcoins, what's silver? So silver is others, and others is at 21.62%. While, Tether, BNB, there's all the other numbers. So Bitcoin dominance is not as high as it could be. Polkadot incentives. As a Star Network, a parachain or parallel chain of Polkadot Network has announced $1 million A-Star Boost Program Fund to provide liquidity and other financial support and incentives to program smart contract developers. The company told CoinDesk that the program was funded through $22 million in its fundraising, as well as the allocation of native tokens. Tether blacklist Ethereum address linked to multi-chain hack. The address traces back to hackers who stole $3 million in cryptocurrencies on a cross-chain bridge multi-chain nearly a month ago, according to Etherscan's label of the transaction involving the wallet, as well as Coinbase analysis. Whoever controls the address won't be able to move the funds, so as long as they are frozen. NFTs linked house sales for $650K. Real estate startup Property has sold its first NFT-backed property in the U.S. The company announced Friday that the 2,164 square foot house in Gulfport, Florida, fetched $653,000. or 210 ETH at auction, with the winning bidder being awarded a non-fungible token as proof of the home's ownership. Now, this is pretty cool. And actually, if you guys, for you who may have been part of the channel for quite some time, is something very useful that Savage Mind and myself kind of, pulled together. And basically, that was using Ravencoin assets to kind of provide the history or the Carfax report on a car, where you can see if I sell you the car, you would get this asset, right, or NFT, and in that NFT would have all the information of oil change history, repair history, mods, whatever happened major to the vehicle, and then you just have everything nice, neat, secure on the blockchain, and proof of ownership because you own that asset, and you could easily transfer that asset from one person to another. And I thought that was very interesting that me and Savage Mind came up with that, or that idea. It wasn't really something that was put into motion, but the idea, a use case for Ravencoin assets. And now here we are, we have NFTs being utilized to kind of provide proof of ownership of a house, right? So, Super Bowl is this weekend. What's up, Golden Wolf? A lot of people, especially here in the U.S., are hyped about the game. We have the Cincinnati Bengals against the Rams. And honestly, it should be a good game. A lot of people are saying Cincinnati's the underdog. I agree with that. But I think the Rams might be surprised. However, the Rams got a really stacked defensive line and a pretty damn good offensive. So not to get to NFL, because once you start talking about football, around the family table, you tend to start an argument. And I don't want to do that. So, prepare yourself for the weekend's Crypto Bowl. Star athletes and supermodels are promoting crypto companies. Stadiums are taking company names, as we saw with Crypto.com. The government is thinking about regulating them, but perhaps the surest sign yet that the cryptocurrency industry has reached the mainstream is the Super Bowl commercials. At least 3 online services for buying and selling digital currencies, eToro, Crypto.com, and FTX, are scheduled to run ads during the game Sunday. BitBuy, a Canadian crypto exchange, will run one during the Canadian broadcast of the game. Even non-crypto companies will refer to Industry Rise, a non-fungible token or NFT. The blockchain-based collectible shows up in commercial for the zero-carb beer Bud Light Next. An Expedia ad starring the actor E. McGregor, or whatever, which urges viewers to book more trips on the travel platform instead of collecting more unnecessary stuff, silently lumping virtual currencies into the category of stuff. And TurboTax, this is interesting to me, and TurboTax, the software company that recently started a direct deposit program with Coinbase to allow users to convert their tax refunds into cryptocurrencies, shows a small town crypto investor in its ad. Now, what's interesting to me about that is, how all these celebrities and superstars are saying, hey, I want to get paid in crypto. Well, now you can get your tax return in crypto. Interesting, huh? Well, to me. Now, if you're one for privacy and you don't report a lot, then more power to you. But for those that report every single thing to the government because they want to be nice, that might be an option for you. So anyways, these companies are conveying that we're not... Okay, all right, I understood now. These companies are conveying that we're not the weird little nerd anymore in the corner who's doing all sorts of shifty stuff, says Beth Egan, an associate professor advertising for Syracuse University. We are a real company, real investor, and we're here to stay, and we are mainstream. Basically saying that, we got a little bit more exposure, right? NFL has not taken in cryptocurrency as much as like the other brands, NBA, NBL, stuff like that. It hasn't become as profound, but the commercials itself is going to be viewed by millions of people. The crypto industry, which struggles with a reputation for being volatile, bad for the environment, and overrun by wealthy tech guys, has tried to demystify itself for a general public, in part by pouring money into the market. Several ads experts said that deja vu, and this is what pisses me off, noting similarities to the gush of money dedicated to marketing the dot-com boom from more than 20 years ago. Now, cool. If you want to compare the marketing aspect of it, great. I'm down. Whatever. Don't compare this crypto situation, as people call it, a bubble, and compare it to the dot-com bubble. Don't do that. Don't do that. The number of crypto companies advertising more than triple last year, and they're spending more than quadruple. So we got over 200 companies, right? And we all remember the Tom Brady FTX ad. Crypto.com paid $700 million to rename the Staples Center. And so, you're going to see more and more of this news, this long story short of this article, as things continue to grow on, right? Then the more mainstream it gets, the more exposure it gets, the more people get in, the more popular it gets, the more money they have, the more money they can put into ads. It's a loop. All right, so will crypto be the Super Bowl's biggest winners? This week's top cryptocurrency news. So basically, there's only one section I wanted to talk about here. Advertising during the Super Bowl, one of the most watched television events of the year, is eternally expensive. This year, a 30-second spot is going for $6 million. 30 seconds on TV during the Super Bowl is $6 million. I'm never going to be able to do that. Never. That's quite ridiculous. But hey, if you want to pay that because you want your business to be front and center, that is a good way to do it. An expected 117 million Americans. And that's not just Americans. I'm pretty sure there's millions of people throughout the world that watch the Super Bowl. Will tune into the match Sunday. With crypto going mainstream, 16% of Americans have invested or used cryptocurrencies, according to Pew Research Center. The Super Bowl may prove an effective way to reach an even broader audience. So, guys, think about that statement right there. 16% of Americans have invested or used cryptocurrencies. Only 16%. Now let's just say that they didn't really test every single nook and cranny of the U.S., right? Let's say about 20%. Could you imagine? And that's just Americans. Could you imagine if the rest of the world started using cryptocurrencies as a form of money, payment, whatever? Can you imagine this 2 trillion market cap that we have? Yeah, 2 trillion. We were at 2 trillion. We dropped down. Can you imagine what that would be like if the rest of the world got in on it? So a lot of people are saying it's still early. You should still mine it, and I agree with that statement. But yeah, it hasn't. It's gone mainstream, but it hasn't gained full exposure. Not maybe 1 out of 5 in each household has dabbled in cryptocurrency or owns cryptocurrency. Can you imagine 4 or 5? That's crazy. So anyways, moving on, baseball, talking about the MLB. Washington Nationals team up with DAO. Terra is a DAO, a decentralized anonymous organization that makes decisions via a consensus vote using digital tokens on a blockchain. The Terra DAO voted on a sponsorship, and the organization paid the Nats nearly $4 million. The Nats Terra deal follows last November's deal between LA Angels star and FTX, a cryptocurrency exchange. Otani, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. I know you're famous and you're a good, really, really good baseball player. I'm so sorry. Who made history last season as the first player ever selected as both an all-star pitcher and hitter in an all-star game, signed to be FTX global ambassador and took a stake in the company. So just like with Tom Brady, we got other athletes throughout various sports getting into the game. This is very interesting to me. High Speed Miner, good morning to you. Thank you for stopping by. Some goblin loser, I don't know. What's up? I just randomly bumped into that article, to be honest. Anyways, our unknown buyer, well, we possibly know who it is, but they claim to be the person that bought it. But I don't know if I believe that. An unknown buyer buys, a diamond, a meteorite diamond, to be actual. At least that's what they say. So this diamond is called Enigma. It has 555.55 carats and 55 facets, or flat surfaces. The diamond was found near the Earth's surface, where it could be formed by meteorite. It may have formed by meteorite. Oh my God, meteors Can't talk. Meteoric impacts. God bless it. So Sotheby's, the auction house, sold a billion-year-old black diamond from space for 4.3 million worth of cryptocurrency. That's crazy. It is thought to be a specific type of black diamond was created either from meteoric impacts producing natural chemical vapor deposition or extraterrestrial origin from the supernova explosions that formed diamond-bearing asteroids, which ultimately collided with the Earth. On Twitter, the crypto entrepreneur Richard Hart made a video claiming he was the buyer of the rare space diamond. He said once the payment goes through, he'll rename the item to Hex.com Diamond, a reference to the crypto platform he's part of. Yay. Anyways, I just thought it was interesting. The nearly 300-year-old auction house has been diving into crypto world. Last year, it began accepting cryptocurrencies as a form of payment in an effort to expand its client base and has been auctioning digital collectibles known as NFTs. So yeah, nice little diamond. I wouldn't say little, but it's a diamond. It's huge, and it's worth a lot of money. So, would you buy your wife that diamond if you had that money? There you go. All right, so BBC cryptocurrency documentary pulled from the air at the last minute. There's a reason why, but bear with me here. I need to get my coffee fix. All right, the program called The Crypto Millionaire, due to broadcast at 7:30 p.m. Wednesday night, was to tell a story of Hanan Hassan, a 20-year-old from Birmingham, who said he'd become incredibly wealthy by trading cryptocurrencies. The program claimed he turned a $50 or 37-pound investment at the start of 2021 into $8 million or 5.9 million pounds by the end of the year, suggesting that he's made an astonishing investment return of almost 16 million% in 9 months. What the hell? I don't believe it. I 100% don't believe it. Full of crap. Right off the rip. Like, I didn't even have to read the rest of the article. I don't believe it. Now, some people may have astonishing return on investments, but I just don't believe this one. So anyways, there's a reason why, too. The documentary due to broadcast on BBC, one was to go over to the West Midlands, or the BBC over there. Crypto UK, did you hear anything about this? I'm curious. Crypto Noob UK, did you hear anything about this documentary? It was due to broadcast on BBC One in the West Midlands. The Guardian asked, now this is another news organization, asked the BBC if it was confident that the claims of this individual, Hassan, financial returns, and questioned why the program's promotion material did not mention that Hassan's cryptocurrency, or Fano, was abruptly shut down in October, with many unhappy investors claiming they were left out of pocket as a result. The BBC swiftly said it had withdrawn the show but did not make any further comments on its editorial checks. And a company online article which had featured a prominent it featured this show has also been deleted without explanation shortly after the Guardian raised questions. The BBC has a patchy track record of covering cryptocurrencies and publishing stories about young entrepreneurs making large amounts of money from online trading. In October, the corporation infamously promoted a rapidly rising price of cryptocurrency that used the name of Netflix show Squid Game, days before the price collapse in an apparent scam. A BBC Three show about a 20-year-old from Wales who claimed to be making $8,000 a day from online currency trading was also removed from iPlayer in 2020 after the broadcaster accepted it wasn't explicit enough about the potential risk involved in forex trading. So, options trading, future trading, stuff like that. If you're going to promote that stuff or show people how to do it, you gotta be very careful in your wording. Now, everybody's talked about this story, and me personally, I read whatever news article. I'm not going to read this one to you. Basically, a couple got caught with the private keys that had over 4.5 billion stolen in cryptocurrencies fund, and the law enforcement seized 3.6 billion of it. The private keys were held by these two individuals, this couple right here, and so they've been arrested on it. And they've been accused of trying to launder the money taken in the hack of Bitfinex in 2016. Now, here's the thing. I don't think they did the hack. Because if they did the hack, they're dumb hackers. And I know a lot of hackers. So I think they may have been the recipients of the private keys that the funds were in, but not the initial attacker or hacker that completed the Bitfinex hack. I'm sure the investment or the investigative force is doing what they need to. A lot of people talked about this in various news articles and outlets. I really could care less. Bitfinex right now is having to deal with a quite iffy situation, because here's my understanding, and it kind of sucks. Let me add this article real quick and I'll explain it. So Bitfinex was hacked. Okay, I don't know why I did that. So Bitfinex was hacked back in 2016, right? So what they did was they started paying people back, right? They started paying the people that were affected by the hack. They started paying them back, but they paid them over time, kind of like Nice Hack, right? They paid them over time, but Bitfinex paid them back in USD, right? So obviously the amount that Bitcoin was in 2016 is a lot less than what it was now, right? So the amount of money that they paid back in USD over time is nowhere near what it could have been today. So people are reaching out on Twitter, right? Once this news article came out, and the government says, we see blah, 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 the users started asking about it, right? But then Bitfinex comes in and is like, no, we paid you. So we want the money. So now we got Bitfinex asking for the money from the law enforcement, and we have the users asking for the money from law enforcement. To me, the users should get it. But the problem with that is Bitfinex already paid all that money back. Even if it was in USD, they did pay it back or compensate them in some form or fashion, I guess, I hope for whatever the going rate it was at that time. But that's millions of dollars that those users could have had. That's life-changing money that those users could have had due to this hack. So is the government going to give it back to the users or Bitfinex? We'll have to wait and see. Very interesting. One, that the hacker was not smart enough, these individuals were not smart enough to cover their tracks. Two, I don't think they're the actual hackers. And three, what is the federal enforcement going to actually do with the said cryptocurrency? Moving on, the Motley Fool, which is actually not too bad. It's decent. Provides a couple of options other than Ethereum. You talk about it here, Solana and Cardano. I'm not going to weigh in on it, but basically this article says that Solana is the better buy, yada, yada, yada. To me, I like Cardano, but, I dollar cost average into both Cardano and Solana. So it's going to be up to you to make the best decision for you and your family. This article cites here, however, Solana is faster, cheaper, and more developed. Its ecosystem of dApps and DeFi products easily eclipsed that of Cardano and is better positioned to gain ground on Ethereum in the near term. That's particularly important because Ethereum has a scalability solution in the works, but it won't be live until 2023. For that reason, Solana looks like a better investment right now. Now, this is the Motley Fool's advice, not mine. I would say, and not financial advice, to dollar cost average into both of these if you're really interested in. Honestly, you can't go wrong. Like, a lot of people are trying to find that one coin, right? Like the get rich quick schemes, right? What's trending, or what's the biggest gainers, and you like, oh, this coin right here, it's so much of a penny, right? It's fractions of a cent. The volume's really low. If I get into this right now, and it pops off and goes up to 30 cents, I could be a millionaire, blah, blah. It's really hard to find those coins, first off. The data on here is not, all of it is from February 1st. It's probably been around a lot longer. It's on Binance Smart Chain. The market cap is not verified. The volume is not verified. There's a lot of iffy situations. And you can see, and you've been seeing a lot of this lately, you can see various Twitter accounts promoting X cryptocurrency to try to pump the price, unfortunately. But it's since it's so hard to find that one coin that's going to turn you into an overnight millionaire, the only recommendation that some investors probably would give you, not me per se, is to go ahead and buy a little bit here and there of the various top 20, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Cardano, Solana, Terra, Avalanche, Polkadot, Polygon, Crypto.com, if you really are going to utilize their services, Cosmos or Atom, Chainlink, Uniswap, Algorand, You know, like there's a lot of good to Phantom, and their ecosystem is really good. The Central Land, like so on and so forth. So there's a lot of opportunities out there. It's not going to make you rich overnight, but if you gain some exposure and hang on to it long term, you may get some pretty good gains out of it. This is what I'm saying. This is all I'm saying. Anyways, Binance, this guy, I swear to God, CZ, you cannot stay out of the news to save your life, bro. Like, you are constantly, you're an attention, you know what. I mean, nothing against you. But anyways, Binance, led by the world's richest crypto billionaire, is taking a $2 million stake in Forbes. Yay! All right, so Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange. Well, it says world's biggest. Is that true anymore? Like, seriously, hang on a second. Is that true anymore? Is Binance still the biggest? Aren't there other exchanges that are like as big or bigger? I don't know. It's making a $2 million strategic investment into Forbes, right? So it's buying into Forbes magazine, and it's a 104-year-old magazine. That's what Forbes is. 104 years old. It's been around for quite a while, so it's got that reputation. It's got that rapport. The funds will help Forbes execute on its plan to merge with a publicly traded special proposition, or a SPAC, basically, in the first quarter, according to people with the knowledge of the deal. Investors have grown skeptical of the SPAC deals generally, and media deals in particular in recent months. Amid the broader stock market retrenchment, Binance replaced half of the $4 million in commitments from institutional investors announced by Forbes in August, said the people, who declined to be identified before the transaction is announced. That would make Binance one of the top 2 biggest owners of Forbes, which will be listed in New York Stock Exchange under the ticker FRBS. The people said the crypto company, and this is people that haven't identified themselves, by the way. They just have knowledge of the SPAC or knowledge of the investment. The crypto company will also get 2 directors out of 9 total board seats. So now Binance is going to have 2 people in the director's board and a pretty penny invested into Forbes overall. The move shows the increasing real-world influence of crypto sector, which has been surging as of late, as billionaires amid the global interest of digital assets get more and more into these various outlets, whether it's sports teams, sports arenas, flooding the airways with endorsements and marketing, Super Bowl, media. So crypto influence is grown quite a bit. Now let's get into some hardware, baby. So, you know those 12-pin connectors that the 30 series, the high-end 30 series? No, wait. Does the 3070? Yeah, the 3070 has it, right? Yeah, the 3070 has it. 3070 and the 36. I'm not sure. I don't have a 3060 Ti Founders Edition. I'm pretty sure all the Founders Edition has the 12-pin. So they basically call it PCIe Gen 5 connector, or Molex Microfit 3.0 dual row. I don't know. Just call it 12 plus 4. That's basically what it is. Or excuse me. Just call it a 12 pin. I'll talk to you about the 12 plus 4 here in a minute. So anyways, the 12 pin cable this is a 12 pin cable that can feed up to 600 watts of power. It's also known as Molex Microfit dual row 12 circuits. You can see the connector here. So it's 6 plus 6, and it's smaller than the standard 6 pin. So don't think that you just combine 2 6 pins together. You can see it here connected to a Founders Edition card. Here's kind of the new layout and stuff for the Asus power supply. We can see here that it's not really a pinout, I guess you could say, but it's a diagram from Igor's lab. S1, card power stable, card cable press number, sense O. Sense 0 is important. Does not use, reserved for future use. So this 12 pin has the capability of supplying the extra power in the future. Now, more recently, Asus announced a new generation of power supplies, codenamed Loki. Pictures shown Loki PSUs will be the first to feature the full implementation of PCIe Gen 5 connector, which is a 12 plus 4 pin. According to Igor's lab, that those 4 additional pins are sideband signal carriers to sense how much power should be supplied to the GPU. This full implementation of the connector is known as 12V high power or 12V H power. whatever, regardless of the naming situation. Some people call it the microfit 16 pin, but the correct call is the 12 plus 4 pin. So just FYI. And you can see that there is something down here at the bottom of it. You see that? Not sure what that is. So the connector's up top. It's not in the picture above, when it's connecting to the GPU. It's just a clip, but there should be something down here at the bottom on the opposite side or parallel to the clip. There's a limit imposed by Sense 3 or the Sense 0 signal. If it's not grounded, the power supply won't supply 600 watts, but up to 450. So, these cards are becoming more and more power hungry, and this is the reason why I like stuff like this, because you as a miner need to be aware of it. So the example of Asus Store PSU and their 600 watt claim for 12 pin cable, this means that Sense 0 signal must be internally grounded. Meanwhile, the S1 or the card power stable and S2 card cable press signals are to ensure that the graphics card is correctly connected and that the power budget has been negotiated properly. The fourth signal, S4, is not defined for the latest PCIe SIG specs, but can come in future implementations. The Gen 5 connector is rated up to 9 amps or 12 volts, which means a maximum current of 648 watts. However, the official specs define 600 watts. This means the next gen GPUs may end up with one connector instead of triple 12-pin setup. Hopefully the AMD RDNA 3 and Nvidia Loveland generation or the following generation will not require anything more powerful. I hope not. If we're getting up to graphics card that requires 600 watts or more, that's going to be absolutely ridiculous, guys. Earlier rumors had suggested that Nvidia's upcoming flagship GPU, known as the 3090 Ti, might be the first card to utilize the new PCIe 5.0 or PCIe Gen 5 connector. And so far, the only thing that we know, so far there's only been a teaser from EVGA showing the new Kingpin model that clearly lacks a typical 8-pin connector setup, but we really can't tell from the pictures itself. I really can't tell what type of connector it takes. They did a good job of hiding it, right? So it's not shown in any of these. There's the bare PCB. I'm not sure if the connector is more towards the front or I'm not sure what's going on, but we don't see the 8-pin. And here it's just sitting in the system, but it's not really showing, like I don't see any cables coming to it or anything like that. Yeah, so we'll have to see what happens. But this connector itself, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to make the power supplies more efficient. It's going to be less clutter, less cables, right? Because you can do 600 watts through one connector. That should be all you need. We shouldn't have the triple 8-pin anymore. So that's less cables to manage. The unfortunate thing is don't put the damn connector in the middle of the car like on the Founders Edition because it looks so stupid. Try to find a way to route it so that way it looks good, at least in a full-size case or even a ITX case. But we'll see more and more of this crop up, especially with the new generation. And here, if you look very carefully, remember that 4-pin that I was telling you about? You can see it here. PCIe 5.0. It looks like it has the traditional PCIe, 8 pins up here. Eventually, this ATX 24 pin is going to go away too. Eventually. But this one's very interesting. So it's 12 pins plus 4. And it detects the GPU how much needs to be, detects how much needs to be provided, and then gives it the amps or the voltage that it needs. I will say real quick before we move on to our last topic, and then I'll look for any questions if there is any, is if you guys haven't paid attention, lately I've been retweeting or tweeting out Bitsby Trippin's videos. He tested the 6700 XT showing the power draw from the riser versus the GPU. And then he tested the 3090 showing the riser and then GPU. It's very important that any of the OGs in the space that have been using SATA or Molex to provide riser power for their 580s, 480s, 470s, whatever it is, understand that if they're going to upgrade, that they're going to need to upgrade and make sure they're using a dedicated 6-pin. Because at those power readings that Bitsby Trippin provided on the riser, you're going to burn up or cause an issue if you're stated on Molex. Now, you could survive for a long time, and I've seen it, right? We've seen it even in Gamers Nexus testing with the 6-pin SATA adapter. But 9 times out of 10, the failure is not so much in the wiring, but the connectors on either end. So you just want to be careful. It probably won't be a spectacular fire, but it is something that you should be concerned about. We'll see how things pan out in the future. But as these cards get more power hungry, I'm hoping that users will be careful, especially trying to mine with them. We may have to get better risers or newer risers with better capacitors, better filtering, because you do got to filter out the noise and the voltage. You got to regulate it. You got to make sure it's stable. You don't want it to oscillate so much. Voltage spikes can cause issues. So we'll see how the new one, and I think the new standard is going to make that better. But when we're talking about taking a card that's drawing 600 watts, even if it is through a 12-pin, right? How much is going to draw through the riser should be the standard 75 watts, but in some cases, I've seen where a card is not getting enough through its 8-pin or 6-pin or whatever, that it's for some reason tried to draw it through the PCIe connector, which it shouldn't do. I don't know why it did that, but it shouldn't do that. But I think the technology in the Gen 5 will help, protect against that, detect what needs, and then go from there. But what's going to be super interesting is, so you have this 12-pin. That means you're probably going to need dual 8-pin, right, to power that 12-pin for that GPU. How would the splitters handle it, especially the splitters that are 18 gauge and stuff like that? Make sure you're getting it from a reputable manufacturer, not buying cheapy cables and stuff like that. These are all things that we're going to have to think about in the mining space in the future. Anyways, moving on, Best Buy Total Tech membership is a total disaster. So Best Buy introduced this program, a membership program called Total Tech for $200 a year, where customers will get access to special programs, 24/7 tech support, Apple Care services, yada, yada, yada. The thing is that Best Buy does sell the 30 series or the RTX 3000 series, and for this reason, by putting a new shipment of graphics card exclusively for Total Tech members, Nvidia Founders Edition should now technically have new MSRP, because yesterday's Total Tech membership was required to even purchase the card. In fact, the program was never intended to fix a problem of availability nor fight scalpers. Customers were allowed to buy multiple cards as long as they were not the same model. In the end, some people bought as many as 7 different cards, including custom editions. One would find it hard to believe that even after 2 years of inflated GPU prices, anyone needs 7 cards right now. And you can see here the number of orders that people have put in, and it's absolutely sickening. It's absolutely sickening. But manufacturers and retailers are taking advantage of the high demand, low supply situation and trying to get their bank filled up. And so Best Buy is entering into the game, and is now, if you want to get exclusive access to GPUs and stuff like that, you could pay $200 a year, which is complete BS. But whatever. I hope they can't cancel it. I hope they're stuck with it and another drop doesn't happen until the next year or something like that. Oh, Ethereum transactions got down to $5.24. So if you need to send some money right now, go for it. Micro centers are only hope, unfortunately, since Best Buy is going to do some silly stuff like that. That's pretty much the end of the stream, guys. I'm just going to chill and chat with y'all for a minute. So basically went over the market conditions, Wall Street being a little bit unnerved, tensions in the geopolitics space, Super Bowl bringing more legitimacy to cryptocurrency, Diamond selling for $4.3 million, documentaries. Be careful, by the way. A lot of crypto documentaries and videos have been popping up, and just like individuals claiming to do this or do that is complete BS or scam, we're seeing more and more scams, phishing attempts, users trying to hack you, trying to steal your funds, trying to access your Web3 wallet, stuff like that. Just be extra careful in today's market. I can't express that enough. Just be extra careful in today's markets. Hopefully we see things stabilize. I think we might move sideways throughout this weekend, right? At this level, right? We're down, whatever, 42, 29, 28, whatever for Ethereum. Move sideways, and then Monday we possibly pick back up to 3K, 3.1, whatever it may be. We'll see how things pan out in the long term. But yeah, things are getting crazy, guys. Things are getting crazy. That's all I got to say. So that's pretty much all my news articles for today. Let me see here. We got any questions? We look pretty good. My eyes can only see 60 FPS anyways, and I'm half blind, so 8K is overrated. Hey, what's up, Chili? How you doing, bud? It's been going good. I've been steadily trying to pump out content for y'all. Monday, Wednesday, Friday are my normal days, and then Saturday live stream. But it's been really hard. I've been having to try to take care of my mom. She's got some financial issues that need to be addressed. Obviously, take care of my wife, keep the kids taken care of, pick them up. It's like rinse and repeat every day, right? Nothing new. You guys do the same thing. You wake up in the morning, you go to work, get the kids to school, whatever, get to go to work. You do a good job. Your company doesn't recognize you for the asset you are. You get paid crap, but you still do it anyways because you like helping people. You help people. You do something great for that day. Go get the kids from school. Come home. Work on cooking dinner or helping out the wife cook dinner. Clean up the house, and then whatever free time that I can before starting the day all over again, I try to record something. The only problem is I don't have a dedicated studio. This is my bedroom that we're in, so I try to record content on days like this. So after this live stream, if I got some content that I can record, I will record it while the wife's at work, kids are relaxing. But Saturday's becoming my only day to do that because during the work week, when I did have some free time to record some content, it's not as abundant anymore. A lot of people are reaching out, escalating for silly reasons, and it's becoming a pain. But that's across the board, not just my company, across various different companies. As people are becoming more and more frustrated, some countries are still on lockdown, or some areas are still on lockdown, and people are tired of that. And I understand why. A lot of people don't like working from home, but some people are being forced to work from home, so they go find a job somewhere else. Jobs are up, but people are unemployed. So it's like, it's an unfortunate circumstance that the world is in right now. But we'll see how things go. The only thing I could say to everybody is just, stay positive, keep grinding. I know grinding is a bad term, right? It's, we're just in a rat race or on this wheel, just doing around the same thing. But that's the only reason why I'm in crypto, right? I'm mining cryptocurrency. I'm dollar cost averaging because I'm trying to build something for my family for the future. Right, I may not be a millionaire. I messed up a long time ago. Whatever, mistakes happen. You just gotta live and let live and keep it moving. And so I'm just gonna stay focused on what I need to do and make content. A lot of the comments have been actually, most of them positive, but there's a few in there that are spewing negativity or always have something negative to say. But just keep it moving and stay focused on what you need to. If they don't mess with the three F's, I really don't care. The three F's are family, friends, and finances. Don't mess with those three of mine, I don't care. You could cut me off in traffic, I don't care. You can flick me off, I don't care. It's when you start messing with my family, friends, and finances that we're gonna have a problem. So, and I'm a hothead despite my videos. I'm pretty much a hothead. I'm very emotional, Hispanic, Puerto Rican, so obviously that was pretty obvious there. But this stuff is what keeps me ticking at night. I like messing around with cryptocurrency, playing around with new algorithms, testing and tuning GPUs. So this is the stuff that I enjoy, and it's very nice to see quite a few people in the space grow as much. Like Bits Be Trippin' is on a tear right now, bro. Bits Be Trippin', oh my goodness, boy. I'm happy for him, man. He's gotten so big that I can't even talk to him one-on-one anymore. It's gotten so big. And it's not so much big as the subscribers, right? So like Voscoin, Red Panda, a few others have been above him as far as, subscriber counts. But it's not subscriber counts that makes you an OG. It's knowing what you know, and he knows what he knows, He's very knowledgeable. He's been in the space for a very long time, and honestly, he's expanding. Him and his team are expanding at such a rate that like I'm totally impressed. Totally impressed. I'm still driving a Camry, baby, but I still got my toy on the side. So I'm gonna keep grinding and doing what I need to do. Eventually, I would like to have either an RB or like an R33, R32. I would like to get my LNR back, my RX-7. But those are toys. Those aren't things that are needed. Those are toys. Maybe build a track day car, K24 Swap Pacific. Build a track day car. But those are all aspirations, again, for things that are wanted, not needed. I always like to focus on what I need. What does my family need? What does my friends need? Take care of my needs before my wants. My wants will come later. I'm not getting any younger, though, so I would like to pick up the pace a little bit. But anyways, that's going to do it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and stopping by. DJ Minds, man. I like working from home because it helps save me gas. But I do miss the office, right? The office, we had a pretty killer office. We had some fun places to hang out, game room, ping pong table, standard tech industry office, right? It was really good. It was a really fun time to hang out. I miss all my friends there. But yeah, working from home has its perks, right? Get up, get the kids to school, get coffee, get snack, get breakfast, get online, start knocking out stuff, making sure the team's squared away, because my leadership's leaning on me a little bit more to lead the team. So it's taking more and more time to do that, taking away from the availability to do content for the channel. But I'm going to do my best to keep up with it. I may have to drop it down to 2 days a week. Or like Seb, he does really good quality content less often. So it's like quality over quantity. Whereas I'm quantity over quality. I need better quality. I don't have an editor. I'm doing everything myself. But I'm trying to learn different things as I go. So we'll see how it goes. I'm just going to keep grinding and keep pumping out content for the community. And if it helps somebody, that's what I care about. Even if it's just one person. This channel was designed to just help people, period. And then it turned into more than just tech and gaming. It turned into crypto, and then the crypto community seemed to like it, so I just kept riding with it. I would like to do some more tech reviews, but that requires buying hardware I don't have money for. But anyways, yeah, don't forget, Coinbase is partnered up with TurboTax for tax refunds if you want to get your refund back in crypto. We come second, third, whatever. Matic Lucky, I appreciate that. No, I like you guys. I like the crypto community, so I'm gonna keep on going. All right. What do you think about Harmony One potential? So I really like One. I really do. So Harmony or One is a cryptocurrency that that's sought after in my book. And has been sought after for a long time. Since its inception, obviously it's down. But the growth potential is absolutely there. So Harmony is a blockchain platform designed to facilitate the creation and use of decentralized applications, dApps. The network aims to innovate the way decentralized applications work by focusing on random state sharding, which allows creating blocks in seconds. According to the project's website, Harmony is expected to introduce cross-shard contracts and cross-chain infrastructure by the end of 2021. There's been some upgrades and changes to it. And what's absolutely funny is, all the terms that One was focusing on, sharding, cross-chain, this, that, has been taken by other crypto projects and just ran with. So here's all I could say from an investment standpoint. And this is not financial advice, just looking at the numbers and being smart. One has the potential. The only problem is the volume, the market cap, and the markets. That's my hiccup. So it is on Binance US. So it is a way for US citizens to get into it. Pancake swap. You can use Binance Smart Chain. But for my country, like, this isn't a cryptocurrency that is sought after. Like, they're all going after the top 20 and the stuff that's like more prominent, Bitcoin, Ethereum, stuff like that. I say one is a cryptocurrency that I would like a bag of because of the potential that it has. I haven't done a full breakdown review on this. I mean, I really would count or lean towards Mind Your Biz to really do that. But I really love the ecosystem. I love the team. And I love the project potential. I don't know if it's been completely realized yet. I haven't checked the roadmap in a while. But I do think it's something that one, as a long-term investment, one may consider getting into one. That's all I can say. Dollar cost average in and grab some more of that. I mean, I can give you a list of all the cryptocurrencies that I'm either in or wanting to get in a future video if you're interested in that. I already did a portfolio video, but I need to do an update on it. Yeah. So anyways, appreciate you guys stopping by. Yeah, man. I'm an avid car guy. Used to have a 93 Mazda RX-7 single turbo. Matter of fact, let me see if I got a picture. Hang on one second. I'm an avid car guy. Where are my cars? Alright, so right now this is the car that I have. Family car. Tan suspension, cold air intake, stuff like that. This was my Eleanor 93 RX-7 from Germany, so it was an import, but it was the Army imported over to the U.S. Thank you, by the way. And then I got the SR20 Swap 240SX. Rough around the edges, but she was quick, bro. She was so quick, bro. I used to be one of the fastest cars in Jacksonville. A lot of people would dispute that, but I whooped their rear ends on a Saturday night or a Thursday evening. I remember this Eclipse that said "I love cops" on it, and we were leaving Green Cove because we heard on the scanner, right? Because scanners worked back then. We heard on the scanner that we got about 27 cars headed down highway, blah, blah, blah. And we looked to the right, and here comes all these cars. Because we were already at the spot, and we were already running. So we get ready to go, and of course the group starts to make U-turns and follow us. Well, this Eclipse, it's a GST Eclipse. It wasn't the GSX, the all-wheel drive. GST, makes the U-turn. I'm in my RX-7, and he gets on it. You can hear it. He's like, I remember him saying something about, like, I'm pushing 28 pounds of boost, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter if you're pushing high pressure if your turbo is only so big. So anyways, he gets on it, and I just barely, I turned right. I'm in first gear, and I'm just, cruising, right? Because everybody's leaving. So there's a nice little gap from the next car in front of me, and so he just jumps on it, and he gets here, and before I could even get out at first, I pulled 2 cars on him. And it was like you could just hear the towel blow off valve, and I miss it, dude. I really do. Especially when we were highway running. Those cars were nice. Obviously, drive respectively. Do not drive and race by moms in their minivans with children. You're an adult. Be smart. But, street racing. I was street racing before Fast and the Furious. And now I just go really to I do play around a little bit, but I just primarily go to spectate and try to keep things in check. But it's gotten too crazy here. It's gotten too crazy. If you check the Northeast Florida news, people have been shutting down highways, doing burnout. It's stupid. No, I do not participate in that. Nope. They're being stupid, they're being reckless, and they're putting people's lives in danger. So I step back and I'm not dealing with it. But yeah, racing was my passion. I would like to go to SCCA or time attack events. I would like to go to Sick Week just happened here in Florida. I wish I would have known about it because I would have loved to attend it. Even in my TL, it doesn't matter. TL's a decent car. She's heavy as heck, but she's fun to play with. She's a 6-speed. I would like to do Rocky Mountain Race Week. I would like to go. I met 1320 Fred and Kyle at GTR World Championship in 2019. That was fun. That was the first time I seen a GTR, the R35, actually break into the 6-second barrier. But yeah, I really love, respect, and appreciate cars. Not the gaudy cars with the huge wings and flashy, but like the stock looking cars, the sleepers that just wreck everything. But yeah, anyways, now you know a little bit more about me. You guys all have a wonderful day. I will catch you in the next one. Make sure you get subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button to stay up to date, as well as check out links in the description like the Doge Lord coffee dogelord.com to buy some Serpentx merch or much more. And Doge Lord coffee is pretty good too, where I get my coffee. You have a good one, guys. Take care.